The headlines say Matt Barnes lost $61,000 to a digital ghost, but the paper trail suggests a much more calculated industry trap. While the internet is busy laughing at the viral clips of Gilbert Arenas roasting his former teammate, the actual receipts from this case expose a terrifying new blueprint for how professional athletes are being targeted in the era of deepfakes. According to a report from the Times of India on December 3, 2025, Barnes allegedly paid tens of thousands of dollars to an extortionist using sophisticated artificial intelligence to fabricate evidence of infidelity. Most people think this is just a story about a retired NBA player making a mistake in the DMs, but the reality involves a multi-year manipulation campaign that weaponized high-level tech and celebrity gossip outlets to bypass the usual PR filters. By the end of this breakdown, you will understand how a one-month breakup turned into a 2-year financial drain, why the legal system is struggling to keep up with these AI threats, and the specific role that media figures played in amplifying the pressure. We are going to answer 3 specific questions. How did the scammers turn simple text messages into $61,000 in payouts? Why did Barnes feel pressured to pay instead of calling the police immediately? And how did the industry elite, including Gilbert Arenas, react when the financial receipts finally went public? The second most shocking part of this story isn't just the money, but the timeline of the manipulation. According to Barnes' own social media address in early December 2025, the contact began back in July 2023 during a brief 1-month split with his fiancée Anansa Sims. What started as simple flirtation with an account known as Zoe or Zany quickly escalated into a coordinated attack. Per the details shared on the Gilbert Arenas show in late 2025, the extortionists didn't just use words, they allegedly used advanced AI tools to clone Barnes' voice and face. They created fabricated videos and audio clips that portrayed him in compromising positions that never actually happened. The expectation was that this was a standard catfish situation, but the reality was a high-tech digital hit job. The scammers used multiple phone numbers to maintain a constant state of urgency, demanding payments to keep the fake content from his pregnant fiancée. This wasn't a one-time payment, it was a slow bleed that lasted until September 2024. The rehook here is simple. If they could do this to a veteran like Matt Barnes with a massive platform, who else in the league is currently paying hush money for videos that aren't even real? Now we get to the #1 most shocking revelation, the weaponization of the gossip industrial complex. The extortion didn't stay private. When Barnes eventually stopped the payments, the fabricated materials were allegedly leaked to media personalities. According to Barnes' own Instagram address on December 8, 2025, he specifically called out bottom-of-the-barrel blogs for spreading what he characterized as pure fiction. He noted that even his close friends in the industry began to believe the lies because the AI was so convincing. This created a pincer movement on the athlete. On one side, he had the digital extortionists threatening his family peace. On the other, he had public-facing platforms ready to broadcast the lies to millions. This is the reality of the industry today. It is no longer just about who you talk to. It is about who can simulate your voice to make it sound like you said something you didn't. Per the social media fallout, some of the deepfake content included outrageous claims designed to be as uncancelable as possible. The payout for the scammers wasn't just the $61,000, it was the total control they held over his public image for nearly 2 years. The third layer of this drama involves the locker room reaction and the financial receipts. When the story broke, Gilbert Arenas didn't hold back. Arenas exploded with disbelief, questioning how a veteran could get finessed for that amount of money. But this highlights a major divide in the industry. The expectation from older players is that you should always be able to spot a play being made on you. The reality is that 2025 technology has made it almost impossible to distinguish between a real video and a deep fake. Without forensic analysis, per the reports on BET on December 10, 2025, Barnes had to clarify that while he was dealing with real stuff, the narrative that he was simply tricked by a dating app model was a gross simplification of a targeted extortion plot. The money was allegedly sent in increments, hoping each one would be the last. This is a classic sunk cost fallacy that many high net worth individuals fall into. They think they are buying silence, but they are actually just funding the next phase of the scam. The fourth point of interest is the total lack of legal protection for athletes in this position. While Barnes signaled he would take legal action, legal experts noted that there had been significant hurdles in tracking these digital ghosts. This is because the law is currently a wild west when it comes to AI-enabled fraud. Per industry insiders, because the scammers often operate from overseas or behind encrypted layers, the reality of getting that $61,000 back is almost zero. Barnes's decision to go public was a move to starve the beast, but it also invited the ridicule of the entire basketball community. It shows the impossible choice players face: pay the digital terrorists and lose your money, or go public and lose your tough guy reputation in the league. Furthermore, we have to look at how this fits into the broader 2025 landscape of celebrity targeting. Per a report by Surfshark in early 2025, deepfake incidents involving celebrities and athletes saw an 81% increase compared to the previous year. This isn't just a Matt Barnes problem, it's a league-wide security crisis. Scammers are now using fraud-as-a-service models, where they buy AI tools for as little as $20 a month to target high-profile executives and players. The expectation is that a millionaire athlete has a team of security and lawyers to prevent this. The reality is that a single convincing voice note sent to a family member can bypass every security gate in place. This makes the $61,000 Barnes paid look like a small price compared to what some other players might be losing in secret. Looking deeper into the gossip industrial complex, we see how bloggers like Tasha K have become unintended or sometimes intended accomplices in these schemes. Barnes specifically mentioned in late 2025 that he intended to pursue legal action against certain vloggers for posting alleged AI-generated content. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. The scammer creates the fake content, the vlogger gives it a platform for views, and the athlete is forced to pay both just to keep their name clean. It's a tax on success that didn't exist 10 years ago. Per Barnes's Instagram reel on December 8, 2025, he stated that 2025 had been his rock bottom because of these personal life upheavals. He had to defend himself against rumors ranging from his sexual orientation to his medical choices, all fueled by these bottom-of-the-barrel reports. This is a psychological game where the payout for the blogger is the traffic, while the payout for the scammer is the cash. The psychological toll is the fifth shocking point. Barnes mentioned personal healing and family healing in his December updates. For an athlete whose brand is built on being all the smoke, tough, uncompromising, and street smart, admitting to being a victim of a digital scam is a massive blow to his public persona. The industry reality is that your brand is your bank account. If your brand is compromised by AI, your income follows. This is why the extortion worked for so long. It wasn't about the $61,000, it was about the millions in future deals and the stability of his family. Per the reports, Barnes's fiancée was a primary target for the extortionists' threats. The pressure of maintaining a household while a digital ghost is threatening to dismantle your life is something that few people can truly understand until they're in that seat. The sixth and most nuanced point is the Arenas apology. After the story caught fire, Barnes revealed he had a private conversation with Gilbert Arenas. According to Barnes, Arenas apologized, stating he didn't know it was that deep. This is a rare moment of industry accountability. It shows that even within the circle don't realize how sophisticated these attacks have become until the receipts are laid out. The expectation was that Gil was just being Gil, but the reality was that his commentary was inadvertently helping the extortionists by validating the lie. When a peer mocks a victim, it validates the scammer's power. By apologizing, Arenas signaled a shift in how the industry might view digital threats moving forward. Beyond the immediate players, this story reveals a fundamental flaw in the way the NBA handles its alumni. While active players have access to team-provided security and legal counsel, retired players like Barnes often navigate these industry secrets alone. Per a leak from an anonymous sports security firm in November 2025, over a dozen retired NBA players reported similar AI-based extortion attempts in that year alone. This is an organized industry. These aren't just random chicks on IG, as some headlines suggest. These are sophisticated cyber crime cells that target athletes because they know they have liquid cash and a reputation to protect. The reality is that Barnes is just the first one brave enough to take the public hit and speak out about the $61,000 hole in his pocket. The financial mechanics of the scam are also worth a deep dive. Per the receipts Barnes posted, the payments were often made through third-party apps and digital wallets that are notoriously hard to trace. This suggests the scammers were well-versed in financial laundering. They didn't just ask for a wire transfer, they used a series of small, manageable payments that kept Barnes from hitting the red alert threshold at his bank. This is how they reached the $61,000 total without the authorities stepping in sooner. It was a masterclass in behavioral psychology, slowly raising the stakes until the victim is too deep to turn back. Finally, we have to address the AI snow bunny label itself. This phrase, coined by Arenas, has become a dangerous meme that minimizes the severity of the crime. By turning a high-tech extortion plot into a joke about a catfish, the media has made it harder for other victims to come forward. Per the sentiment analysis on Twitter and Reddit in late 2025, the conversation shifted from "how can we stop these scammers" to "how could Matt Barnes be so dumb?" This is exactly what extortionists want, to isolate the victim and make them feel too embarrassed to seek help. But as Barnes noted, he was dealing with real shit involving his family and his fiance's pregnancy. The stakes were far higher than a simple mistake in the DMs. As we look at the impact on Barnes's career and the wider industry, one thing is clear. The court vision here is that the game has changed. This isn't about being smart or streetwise anymore. It is about digital hygiene and legal reform. Barnes eventually called the leaked content bullshit and used his platform to warn others, but the damage to his peace of mind was already done. The insider takeaway is that the AI extortion is the new agency contract trap. It's a legally gray area designed to extract wealth from players who are distracted by their personal lives. The industry is watching this case closely because it sets the tone for how the NBA and WNBA will handle digital kidnapping of an athlete's likeness. If the league doesn't step in with better security protocols for its players, we are going to see a lot more $61,000 stories. This is just the tip of the iceberg in the world of industry manipulation. The reality is that in 2026, your greatest enemy might not be a rival player on the court, but a computer program in the hands of a stranger. Barnes's willingness to show his receipts and admit to the struggle is a pivotal moment in NBA history. It marks the transition from the physical era of scandals to the digital one. To see how other stars are being trapped by bad contracts, fake agencies, and backroom deals that never make the evening news, you need to watch our next breakdown. We cover everything from the manipulation of rookie deals to the vulture culture of celebrity gossip blogs that profit off these digital hits. To understand the full scope of how the game is being played off the court, click the link for the Court Vision Rope Industry Secrets playlist right now. The game you see on TV is only half the story, and the reality is often more expensive than anyone realizes. Barnes is fighting to clear his name, but the industry he helped build is already moving on to the next target. Don't be the next person to get caught off guard by the digital game.